Hey YouTube, this is Tamara Blodgett, the cheating carnivore. I'm gonna get right into it today. I can go back and circle around with all my anecdotal and superfluous stuff later if I want to. But I just want to let you guys know it's day 7 of me doing extremely high fat, low to moderate protein. Now, I got this idea and a light bulb really came on from this gal named Stephanie, keto person. She's my exact age, I believe a little bit older. I think she's turning 57 and I don't turn 57 until July. Whoopee, let's not split hairs. She looks terrific and she advocates less protein than what the classic carnivore gurus are saying is necessary. And I've been very interested in trying something different. You guys know how beleaguered I've been with all my autoimmune stuff. And I just wanted to have a way to try something that, you know, wouldn't hurt me. I'm already fat adapted, keto adapted, however you want to put it. Bottom line is that I'm at 2,500 calories right now. Calories. You guys know I think calories are BS, but they're a great point of reference for people because we've been so indoctrinated to use them as such that everybody understands what that is. And I have lost, as of today, day 7, I have lost almost 3 pounds. Now, some people will be going, oh, that's water weight or it's this or that. No, it's not. No, it's not. I haven't had any plant and any glucose or carbohydrate of any kind since November 28th. So I was already fat adapted and metabolically flexible. I could go back and forth. If I cheated a little bit and had a carb or whatever, it didn't matter. My body would burn that up and then it would go back to fat burning because it didn't trust me to give it any carbohydrate consistently. And I had trained it into doing that. It took a long time, 4 or 5 months. Some people say, oh, you get fat adapted quickly. That has not been the case with me. I found through experience it's actually a slow process and a deliberate process and one the body doesn't like to employ. It's a Stephanie gal. She's been in ketosis, she claims, for 16 years. Well, she certainly looks good. It's obvious she's burning fat just by the way she looks. Now, and I don't mean this as a diss. From what I understand, she doesn't have a husband or kids. And so right off the bat, she doesn't have 4 children, 3 daughter-in-laws, 2 grands, a mother-in-law, and a husband to have to split my mental and emotional time, obligation, and desire to spend time with. She doesn't have any of that. So she does have more time to commit to this kind of an endeavor. So I don't know how much she's working out to have abs like she does and musculature like she does. But I'm a smarter, not harder type. And I look at working out as like flossing my teeth and brushing my teeth. Oh, I got to do that again. Like today I did my buttocks workout. I like to say it like that. The grands get a kick out of it. I know, I'm super juvenile if you haven't figured it out. So a 3-pound weight loss. Let's talk a little bit about my skin trouble that's been so awful and so irritated. And I did take a photo finally on my own. I didn't even have to ask Hubs, where I showcase the sort of like almost sunburn type of presentation where it stings and it burns and it itches like it's healing, but it's not. And it's along my hairline in the back of my head. And so that's a newer thing. And I want that gone. And I want my ears completely clean. And I think they're real close. They're, like I've said before in prior videos, 1 or 2%. I have one eye that's still suffering from an off and on again rosacea, ocular rosacea flare. I have very dry, kind of chafed skin on my face. Those things don't solve or they don't clear quickly. Skin stuff doesn't, generally speaking. So I have noticed only an improvement in that I'm itching. My scalp and the inside of my ears and my face itch less because whatever's going on inside then manifests like a huge irritant. It's almost like an allergic reaction. And autoimmune stuff is like that because my body views my gut health and whatever I'm consuming to have not been good, and it's still fussing and carrying on and reacting. I know it's not dairy. I did pull back my cream to something reasonable for me, and then I started upping my fats with butter. And that's what a lot of the gurus recommend. I've not been real keen on it. I don't like the fat fasting, egg fasting, sardine fasting. I did do sardine fasting for about 3 days. It was kind of fun because I like sardines, so it wasn't really a fast for me. But I'm kind of done fasting of any kind right now. I just want to be able to be a human being and eat each day and eat what I'm supposed to and have a sense of wellness and have my body not present with BS stuff not have to take Synthroid for my Hashimoto's and my thyroid. I want to give my thyroid hormones the nutrition they need in which to function correctly. So this is all biohacking stuff. But those are the numbers I could give you, right? So now I'm just looking for my skin to clear. And something that's very positive, that's just a small thing, but it's also big, is that my joints are no longer hurting. So when I do this with my hands, or I walk, or I get out of bed for the first time in the morning, I sit down at the commode to do my business, all those types of things, that's all gone now. I still have some ligament tenderness. I haven't felt it so much in my wrist at all since I began this a week ago. I still have it very much behind my knee, that one knee that's been problematic since I did the Dipsy Doodle screw around about 2 years ago and did a bunch of aerobics on the asphalt. Not the smartest thing I've ever done in my life. I did start sprinting with my girlfriend B that lives right next door to us at the condo here in Mazatlan. And we just did the one day, and then everything fell apart after that. My other girlfriend is coming for the first time for an entire week to spend 10 days here. I'm sorry, I misspoke, all of that. My girlfriend is coming, who I haven't seen in 7 years, to spend 10 days here at the condo. And she's coming for a visit. And so I told B, I was like, listen, I won't be able to sprint, but I am going to start that protocol because I am following Sean O'Mara. And I would like to do the least amount of working out for the most amount of impact. And he claims that just by replacing anything cardio whatsoever with just pure sprinting, that you can give up distance running and cardio and treadmills and dancing and all that stuff, and visceral fat will be impacted in a positive way. You'll start losing that. And I'm excited about that option too. But I've decided that with the sprinting, I'm definitely going to take it a little slower than I did the first day. The first day I did interval sprinting. As soon as I was recovered, after about a minute, I would then go do another sprint. I did 6 sprints and I could hardly move for like 4 or 5 days. So obviously that was too much of a challenge for my system. But I didn't hurt myself or injure myself because I was smart. I stretched first. I walked for a little while first. And then when I began running, I accelerated into the sprint. I didn't just go from 0 to whatever. I started jogging, and then I started running, and then I sprinted all out for like 10 seconds. But it was probably more like 7 or 8 because, you can't wait to be done with the sprint because you're out of breath, right? So I think my seconds counting may have been not quite accurate. But anyway, I did it. And I'm thinking after my friend Elle leaves, then B and I are going to start sprinting again Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I invited Hubs, but he's kind of rolling his eyes in his head because he does kind of think I'm obsessed and everything with nutrition and always trying these different experiments with myself, which is all true. That's fair. But my experiments got 50 pounds off of him. Now he has gained about 15 of it back, and he's not nuts over that. And I was like, we just can't have carbs. And he's less strict than I am by a lot. But he's starting to listen to what I'm saying here, and he's starting to notice that, I came back and said, well, let's not change anything with you until I know this will work, right? I don't want him to fuss with any of his stuff and make him be more disciplined without a reason. So we went ahead and now I'm like, okay, I have lost almost 3 pounds. And there might be a little teeny bit of water weight with that. I give it like a half pound at most, but the other part of it is fat. It's not enough for me to see. Even with as critical and astute as I am with my own physical presence. But I imagine in another 5 pounds or so, I will be noticing it if it continues to hold. Now, yesterday, I had a little bit of a stomach ache, and I attribute that to the fact that I've doubled my fat in a week. And my body was like, hey, cowgirl, what are you doing? But I'm excited about this because if after a month of doing this, it won't be quite a month when I break to have my cheat day on the 31st for our anniversary. But when I have nearly a month of it, say I've come down, even 5 pounds would be such a huge win. Because my goals are no fasting, no hunger, a physical sense of wellness, skin improvement, ligament improvement, joint improvement, and weight loss in that priority. Like, I want to feel good every day. I do not want to fast. I do not want to be hungry. It's not sustainable if I'm hungry. I don't want to ever be that girl again. I did a lot of restrictive stuff when I was younger until I was way into my 40s. I started messing around with worrying about my weight when I was like almost 17, and it's never stopped since then. And I got to a point when I was like, that's enough. I don't want to do those things. I just want to live. And I want to promote my husband's health. He's not at all interested in it like I am. And so I can do all the research, all the N=1. I can experiment on my own self, and then I can provide him with the tools for him. And he doesn't have to think about it. It's just, I always make breakfasts anyway. When he goes to fix our normal dinners, I'll be like, instead of having a piece of cheese on each burger, have 3 burgers with half a piece of cheese. Because his protein load is going to be higher than mine. I don't know how high. We're going to have to see. Because I told him, I said, I need to know these things every day from you for about a week, and then we need to weigh you. And then if you've lost weight and you didn't have hunger and this is working, then let's keep that up until you get to a weight that you like. And what I really want, guys, this is my end goal. I don't love it, but I know it's the most rational thing I can think of. I want to just do this for as long as it takes. And then if I start getting down kind of lower, like a 150 or less, I mean, anything down there is totally acceptable for me. I want to see where my body wants to be. So what if in month 6 or 7, say, I'm getting down there, and 1 month I don't lose any weight at all. Say I'm just throwing out a number. Say I get to like 148 and my body just sits and sits and sits, and I'm eating exactly the same way. Well, that tells me that's where my body wants to be. And if I just keep on eating the same thing, I'll have good nutrition, good health, good blood work, no more thyroid BS, and I'll be at a weight that my body enjoys, that's natural for all those boxes being ticked. Like I would eat more food. Like if I got down to say 155 and my body held there, I would be like, okay, if I drop any fat or any protein, I'm hungry. And so this must be what the bottom weight is for me. It doesn't matter if I don't like the number. It only matters that my body has given the sign of the cross. It said, this is where we want to be. If you want these things, health, wellness, no thyroid crap, great skin, no ligament pain, no joint pain, and I guess relative leanness, this is how much you need to eat every day. So yesterday I had 237 grams of fat, and that was 2 sticks of butter, and it's not classically American weighed. It's about 180 grams. And I don't know what that comes out to be, but I think it's close to like a half a pound of butter, okay? I had that, and I had a tablespoon of grease in the pan, bacon grease that I cooked my 5 scrambled eggs in with salt. I had 6 tablespoons of cream in my 2 cups of coffee. And then for dinner, I had, I think, a 7-ounce piece of chicken breast, which was hard for me to choke down because I was no longer feeling the chicken. I definitely was feeling more like I wanted beef or pork or fish or something else. So I was just using up a leftover. I told Hubs, I was like, yeah, not feeling the chicken right now. So we're going to go shift back to the other thing. My body tells me, it's like, this is what we're having for our protein. I wasn't thrilled about it. I could just tell because it didn't taste that good going down. Now, the day before it did. So obviously my body was accepting it the day before, but then the next day it didn't. Now, Hubs is a cheesehead, and so I've been putting a tiny bit of cheese on his stuff just for flavor because it's not sustainable to him if he can't have cheese. But I've just pulled back on it because it has protein, right? It's not just strictly fat. And we don't want to build that protein up past a certain gram amount. So anyhow, that's how things have been going. So leave your comments here and let me know what you think about what I'm trying, and let me know if you're as excited as I am to have something that may actually be a hack that works. And I do expect to lose a little bit of weight here quicker in the beginning because I'm a solid 10 pounds more than what is my natural weight. I just know that. And so I might keep, right now I've been taking off 0.2, 0.4 every single day. And I imagine that will quit once I get down to, say, 160 or below. I think my body will then, maybe it'll be 0.2 every other day or something along those lines, or maybe 1 pound a week. That's still fine. I'm still good with that. It's a win. 0.2 is a win. It's still going down. And then, I continue to work out with my buttocks, and so I'm building muscle there. And then when I go back to sprinting with B, the 22nd or further, what's going to happen there is that I might build a little muscle in that pursuit too, and that may slow things a little bit, but it will still be a downward progression, I think. So I'm very excited. It is different. My body is getting used to it. I've upped my fat from about, well, I was classically having about 160 grams a day, and then I dropped it down for about 10 days in a higher protein experiment and a lower fat grams, like 110, 120. I felt definitely not as good. So when I went back to the high fat, I went hard on the pain. I got after it. And then the protein I'm keeping in the 90s right now. And that's, she says not to go over 70 if you're a woman, unless you're active, very active, or you're tall. And so I took her to her words. I was like, yeah, I got to have more protein because I'm taller. Because I tried like 75 or 80 the first day and I was a little starvy. I was like, oh, okay, no. And I had kept my fats at 200. It was difficult to get there the first couple of days because I just was, sort of fumbling around, but I did. So now I'm having the 2 sticks of butter, and I'm having 1 stick with my other meal and 1 stick with the secondary meal. And if I want something in between, I can have like maybe a slice of bacon. That's all I can have. Or I have a half a slice of bacon with more butter on it or something, because really it's the fat that's critical for me. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, you guys love this video, okay? Like it and sub me. Get after me. Subscribe. Appreciate you.